Hello, thanks to the help of Ukrainian official distributor of Shanling company SoundMeg, I have an opportunity to try Shanling's new flagship in-ear monitors. Its name is ME800 and it's still a hybrid model, but they decided to change driver structure for it, and unlike the previous generation ME700, here they used two dynamic drivers, smaller in size and for custom balanced armatures. So reducing the size of dynamic drivers probably helps to achieve faster diaphragm move speed and make low frequencies more precise. And probably they use two drivers to pump more air to make bass more rich. Is it so or not? We'll see. Price is slightly below $800, and actually I don't like the idea when manufacturers try to match the price to the model number. But anyway, let's have a closer look. As you can see, package is pretty big. I'm also not a fan here. I think that you can create stylish package without making it big, but in general, of course, this marketing idea works really well, and this package looks extra solid. Nice multicolored layered foiled layering outer box, and removing it you can obtain access to the internal box. So it opens this way. On top you'll find metal plate describing different sound tunings, because it has 4 toggles to change the sound representation. And here you'll find stock cable and earphones themselves. And as you can easily expect, bottom layer contains additional accessories. Nice set of tips, different types of tips, 2 pair of foams, 3 sets of different silicons, replaceable jacks, 6.3mm adapter. I still have no idea why all manufacturers not making 6.3mm adapter as one of the jack versions. All of them have it as a separate accessory. Also cleaning tool and nice leather case for storage. Let me pull it out to show you. As you can see, design is a bit unusual, but in general it's very convenient and well done. So to summarize this part, in terms of accessory set, you're getting all that you can expect from the luxury model. In terms of design, Shanling decided to implement classical shape, but implement it on a really good level. So they are made of resin, have this ergonomical shape that everyone is used to recently, and they have nice metal spouts. The spouts have good extension, so passive sound isolation is slightly above average. Of course, here present lip for holding the tips and protective grill, so no derbies will get inside of earpieces. Build quality is superb, so what you can expect at this price range, I don't know. Here is a vent hole on the front side, and all faceplates are custom made by hand. Probably it's stabilized wood, but I'm not sure. There are 2 color versions, forest and desert, so more greenish and more yellowish ones, that's it. And here are 2 toggles, 2 switches that you can flip on and off, changing the sound. I like that approach with toggles. It's simpler than unscrewing and screwing back some filters, and that's more convenient way of changing the sound signature, especially if you going to do that on the go. Cables are made replaceable. Here used MMCX connectors. They are pretty tight, so holds well. I'm pretty sure they used some high quality connectors. They getting in place with nice well-defined click. Cable is made by Furukawa, pretty famous manufacturer, and of course from one hand it looks great, from another hand it feels feels really well and gives you really good wearing comfort. It's pretty thick, as you can see, 4 wires per each ear, and it's actually not super soft. It's flexible enough, but it's definitely not that type of super soft cable. At the same time, it has a pretty low microphonic effect. There are ear hooks, but without memory wire, and low microphonic effect here because here used a pretty heavy and big splitter, so it pulls cable down and it gives you more secure fit when cables are running around your ear, and also it looks pretty great. And here is a chin slider you can use to additionally adjust it. And after splitter it goes braided. Of course, great braiding, high quality wiring, so in terms of acoustical performance it's of course also top of the notch. And here used replaceable jacks, so this idea is getting more and more adopted on the market, and it's one of the most convenient ways of replacing it. So pay attention at this notch and this groove and combine them, rotate, and it holds in place. As you can see, in terms of size, this connector is pretty close to the regular one. And to summarize this part, exterior is also made on a good level. And of course about the sound. They require slight burn-in, about 20 to 30 hours. Actually sound changes during first 15-25 hours. So if you decide to get them, it's better to invest 2 times in doing the burn-in. And in terms of signature, actually, Shanling had 2 previous flagship models. They had ME700 that were on the warmer side of things, and they had the ME700 Lite that were fast and pretty focused on the micro details, pretty dry and monitoring. Here they managed to sculpt the signature that is between these 2 polar opposite extremes. They managed to create the model that is actually balanced and average. Average not in terms of bad things, because I don't know why, but in many languages average means something not super positive. But they managed to create the sound signature that is pretty musical, but at the same time not trying to emphasize something. And as usual, in such cases, in models with tuning, I prefer the sound that is balanced, so without boosting low frequencies and without boosting the treble. Actually, these toggles here can help you boosting mid frequencies, which adds a bit more weight to the low frequencies, but at the same time lows became a bit less precise, so you're getting more weight and a bit less precision. In many cases such signature matches music, but I prefer a bit more tight and impactful bass that is go without boosting here. And the treble actually, when you activate it, it gives you more extension. Both options are pretty okay, but I prefer a bit less extended version, because with more extended one you hear more issues in poorly recorded tracks. So the version without boosting treble is a bit more forgiving. But of course you definitely need to experiment with all 4 options and find out which one will suit you most. I'm describing all that because I want to make a statement that I will describe the sound in the balanced option. So low frequencies are deep, with nice impact, not super focused on the deeper bass. Main accent is made on the mid bass, but still deeper layers of bass are present. It's pretty tight, but not dry. It's not trying to be super fast, so weight is also present here, but definitely it's not an option for the bass heads that requires dominating massive low frequencies. No, here you get more accurate low frequencies, but at the same time with good amount of rumble, with really good textures and nice punch and impact. As a first example, I've got Footprints by Ezra Collective from the Blue Note Reimagined. They have nice, pretty deep kicking drum here, and on top of that a lot of different instruments, really well recorded. That's what we can expect from the Blue Note, and these earphones played really well. And second example, actually it will be pretty unusual, but I wanted to mention some Polish band, and this time it won't be Nehinch, and this time it's Behemoth, Blow Your Trumpets Gabriel, and they have nice, massive, dominating low frequencies in the introductory part of this track, and this model really plays it nicely. You'll get this sense of massive coming, massive sounds that will overrun you. And actually with this track I prefer boosting low frequencies a bit more, but at the same time when lows are not boosted they are controlled better and stays better in place, so mid frequencies will be better readable here. Speaking about mids, they are detailed with slight focus on the micro contrast, but not being too dry and monitoring. This model doesn't try to boost emotions or macro dynamics. Instead, they are playing basically what is present in the record. In this aspect, they are pretty critical for the quality of record, but not super sensitive to that. With good quality records, you definitely get really stellar results with big spacious stage, natural instruments, and really well balanced signature. If you like to spice things a little bit, you can flip this vocal tuning. It will boost treble a little bit and will highlight upper mid-range, making sound more clean, more crisp, and more fun. And actually, imaginary stage, forgot to mention, it's really good, spacious, not at the maximum level, but definitely noticeably above average. And the first example for the mid frequencies, it's Corpo-Mente, Dorma, great track for those who like avant-garde music. You probably know the new project of these creators named Igor. They made a lot of hype a few years ago, but Corpo-Mente reminds some Igor works, but more focused on the opera singing, and of course with a lot of unusual ideas put here. And to play this vocal and instrumental part well, you need some good technical but not dry earphones. And this Shanling's ME800 definitely gives it to you. And second example, it's Godspeed You Black Emperor, Sleep. Unfortunately, this track is not perfectly recorded, but it's full of different instruments, different musical ideas, a lot of things going on during this 23 minutes, lot of tempo changes, lot of tuning changes, really interesting music. And these earphones definitely try to do their best to squeeze maximum from this track to get as much details and nuances as possible and deliver to you. And in terms of treble, actually I already described that you can get two versions in terms of extension. You can get noticeably above average or slightly above average in terms of treble extension, and the layering is good but not perfect. Attacks and decays are a bit on the faster side of things, typically for the balanced armatures. And at the same time, treble is slightly highlighted, but not overdone. It's not a super bright model, at least to my taste, but it's definitely not a model for those who like soft and comfortable type of treble tuning. It's neither that. And you'll get a pretty good amount of air and overtones, and all instruments will be sound really well saturated, especially if tracks are properly recorded. As an example for the treble, let's use one of the greatest rock ballads ever recorded and the live version. Really skillfully performed, nicely recorded, and the digital remaster is also adding a bit of extra wow effect here. nice airy percussions, good guitar work, and keyboards, vocal, all blending into awesome mix. And actually these earpieces adding a bit of additional effectiveness here thanks to the nice, well performed treble. And second example, pretty complex one, it's also a live record, it's John Coltrane Psalm. He fourth part of his masterpiece A Love Supreme. It's not as sharp in terms of treble as the studio version, but still it requires a good technical performance to play this saxophone in a proper way with all nuances, and this model definitely deals with it really well. In terms of pairing, they doesn't require something super powerful or something with hyper black background, but of course they require technical player with good level of performance, and it's pretty obvious that Shanling targeted it to their own M players lineup, especially top models like M9 and M7 that were recently released. But other company players will also drive them pretty well, so you can experiment here freely. And unfortunately I don't have a lot of models for compressions, so compression section will be really brief this time. So ME700 is warmer with less details, with noticeably less treble, and ME700 Lite by Shanling 2 is more natural, more focused on the micro contrast, but sounding more dry. So ME800 like bringing you more natural representation. And the Fuse FH9, they have more massive low frequencies, a bit more accenting weight of lows. In the mid frequencies they are more or less the same, and in the treble area Fuse is a bit more energetic, putting slightly more emphasis in the treble area. So to summarize everything, Shanling created a really good hybrid model for those who like not totally monitoring but not too colored sound, and great build quality, premium accessory set, and ability to tune the sound signature, adding more value to this model. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course have a nice day.